Another area that we want to have a look at is overtaking. Perhaps you could talk us through some of the manoeuvres you have to do on the track to get past vehicles.
Yeah, for sure. Like on the track, most of the overtaking gets done under the brakes, really, and but we'll pass anyone any way we can. And that's not the right way to do it on the road. But you know, there's 40 guys out there that I know, and I know how to pass them. You know, I know how they're going to react, and I know what to expect from them.
Right.
And you know, we also slipstream, so you can pull out from the right or the left, and we know we're not going to hit anything when we pull out that way. So you know, we're usually pretty safe on the track for some wild overtaking.
So even though the speeds are higher, it could well be that it's a lot safer to overtake on the track than for me on the road.
I think so for sure, because you know, like we're all going very fast, but when we're overtaken, we're only going like 1 mile an hour faster, or you know, the speeds we're going. We might be doing 150 miles an hour, but we're usually together travelling at the same speed, so it's quite safe. You know, you look beside you and it feels like you're doing exactly the same speed.
Right, that's interesting. I mean, one of the things that I have to think about is, as opposed to slipstreaming, I have to be slightly further back, because the further back I am, the more I can see past the vehicle that I want to overtake. And we've got some footage, perhaps we could both have a look and just talk our way through this footage of overtaking.
Yeah, all right, yeah, that'd be good.
There are several common mistakes that riders make when attempting an overtake. Here, we can see an overtake where the rider is carrying far too much speed as he approaches the vehicle that he wants to pass. We should extend our planning to fit the overtake into other existing circumstances. For instance, in this case, the bike can't overtake because he can't see beyond the car and around the bend. He's also got too close to the rear of the vehicle, which means that he loses view, causes the car driver to feel uncomfortable, means that he can't apply full overtaking power at the earliest safe opportunity, and that when he does manage to pull out, the bike is initially heading towards the verge rather than down the road. When you're on your bike, don't get any closer to the back of a vehicle than you would do when you were driving a car. Use your advantages on the road. A bike with its speed and agility can easily overtake other vehicles. We can change position easily to gain views, and we have a big performance advantage which allows us to overtake quickly and safely. This rider is about to make the error of cutting up the vehicle he's just overtaken. At best, this will annoy the car driver, and at worst could lead to a collision and a lot of pain and expense. But with good planning, his overtaking position should feed nicely into the correct position for negotiating the next bend. An alternative is shown here. The patrol rider can see that no matter how close to the car he is, he can't overtake because of the restricted view. He looks for three things: the correct distance from the car, the correct speed, and the best gear to give good acceleration when a safe opportunity to overtake presents itself. Here, the motorcycle is in a following position. The rider has an excellent view past the car and is maintaining a good safety margin, but can easily move up if an overtake becomes possible. And here, the rider has seen that because of the nature of the road, an overtaking opportunity may develop. He's moved into an overtaking position, which is safe, gives a good view, and means that with good acceleration, the overtake will be executed both quickly and safely. By overlapping the planning and with good observation, the rider can take a second overtake and set his position for the next bend in one continuous movement. Before you start an overtake, you must know where you're going to finish it. Many riders get into trouble because they start an overtake but have no safe area to pull into should they need to. The result is that they end up stranded in a dangerous position. It's important to remember that you can't overtake another vehicle until you've considered everything that you can see, everything that you cannot see, and what is likely to happen as a result of that information.
Must be great to have the freedom on the track just to be able to go as fast as you possibly want and not worry about the stuff that's up ahead. Of course, on the road we've got to worry about roundabouts, traffic coming the other way, traffic lights.
Yeah, well, we do have some traffic lights so that they only go green, and you know, they do go red occasionally, but you know, we've got nothing to worry about like you guys have on the road. And but seriously, we do have some problems with junctions and stuff like that, so maybe you could take me through some. Right,
yeah, it's a real big problem for us, junctions. It's really the one place on the road where two sets of traffic are going to come into conflict with each other. We try and control it by building in roundabouts, traffic lights, give way signs, etc. The problem is if people don't observe those signs, then they're going to hit each other. Also, too many of us, especially on bikes, make too many assumptions about other riders and other drivers. Although we may be on the major road, there's a real danger that we'll assume that everybody else will comply with the signs and that we'll just blast through as fast as we can. And it's a real unsafe thing to do. Eventually, if you keep making those dangerous assumptions, you're going to hit somebody and have a problem.
For sure, yeah.
Again, we've got a bit of footage of a junction where we had some problems. Perhaps we just have a quick look and just walk through.
Yeah, for sure.
The major cause of accidents at junctions is that people become fixed upon another task and fail to give enough attention to the road layout ahead. This biker, for instance, is so intent on overtaking that he has nothing left with which to consider the junction or its possible consequences. Ask yourself, if a car pulled up in the mouth of the junction, intending to turn left, which way would the driver look? And what would happen to you if he pulled out? When planning your riding, think of the worst possible thing that could happen in a given situation and adapt your riding so that it won't. When you're riding on the road, it's no good hoping that everybody else will do the right thing. Be proactive rather than reactive. Remember, if an accident does occur, regardless of who's at fault, we are the ones that are going to hospital. If in doubt, hold back.
Saw you at the weekend, Troy. The old leathers looked really flash, but are they built just to look good, or do they have a job that they have to be there for?
Yeah, well, they do look really flash, and but they are made for a good job, and they're very strict on them at the track for scrutineering. You have to have like full one-piece leathers, helmet, boots, and gloves, and you know, they're made to fit and protect you very well. They've got inserts, plastic inserts, right throughout them, and you know, you also wear a back protector as well. So you know, everyone wants to be as safe as possible, and every year, you know, I definitely have a few crashes, and although we don't hit anything solid on the track very often, you know, usually save us from taking some skin off mainly.
Right, so they work for you then?
Oh, definitely, you know, still losing a bit of skin occasionally, but, you know, they are really safe, quite good.
It's a real shame on the road. All we've got to do is have a CE-approved crash helmet with a kite mark.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you can go out and we see people on the road all the time just wearing jeans, shorts, really crazy, because if they do fall off, they're going to hospital and they're going to stay there a long time.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
When you come to choose protective clothing and equipment, the only way you can be sure that it complies with an approved standard is if it carries the CE label. Would you walk away from this if you were wearing your normal riding gear?
Well, Troy, we've looked at the three main areas that have been a problem for road riders, but how could I learn more about riding on the track?
Well, there's loads of track days available. You just got to pick up any motorcycle magazine and check it out, and you know, get the closest track to you and take your mates down there and off you go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and you know, you'll get more confident with your bike that way, and maybe you'll become a safer rider from it. But really, you need to go and learn how to ride safely on the road. And how do you do that?
Well, you can visit any of the dealers that are displaying the Bikesafe poster in the window, and the addresses are on the website, and they'll put you in touch with people that can get you some good advanced training.
Right, that sounds good.
Good.
Yeah. Well, that's me sorted for a course. Hopefully I can get out on the road and enjoy myself a bit more now and do it in a bit safer way.
Great. Fancy going for a ride?
Yeah, why not?
Let's go.